The best in Ohio stay in Ohio, and that will remain so with Cincere Johnson. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State, the Voice of College Football. I'm your host, Garrison Gaddy. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you're new here, you like the content, please do the same. And make sure to go ahead and, if you have Buckeye fans or friends or family or even foes who are looking for some more Buckeye content, bring them here. And also check out the rest of the content that we have here at the network at the Voice of College Football. Well, everybody, let's get to it here. The Ohio State Buckeyes land a huge commitment from edge rusher and slash linebacker edge rusher Cincere Johnson out of the out of Cleveland pipeline. If you know Ohio State football, you know just what Glenville means to the Ohio State community and what it means to the program. Cincere Johnson, everyone, is a very good athlete, elite athlete, one of the top 100 players in the country. Number eight specifically in his or number nine in a position, 80 overall. Listen, everyone, the kid can play. The kid is fast. He's huge, about 6'3", 240 pounds. You can move him anywhere you want. If they wanted him to play the more traditional linebacker, they could. If James Laurinaitis wanted him to move to the edge rusher, he could do that. He has the ability to where in that front seven, I'm really outside defensive tackle, he can play just about anything you need him to. Listen, I think that when you look at a kid like Cincere, you're wondering, okay, where can I put him where he can? Where can I put him where he can wreak the most havoc? If you can see him right here, everyone. He finds the ball. He wraps up very easily. He's not easily manipulated on the field as in with his body. Blockers aren't able to turn him that well. He's not easy to catch up to when he's already in full throttle. I think that he's one of those guys that when he comes into Ohio State by a sophomore year, you should be seeing his impact. That's the type of player we should be expecting out of him. His freshman year, next year, of course, after his senior season. I'm not, that's one thing, but I do believe that Cincere Johnson is one of the type of guys that when you get him in the room, you ask him, okay, what do you want to accomplish? What are your personal goals? What are your team goals? And then you sit there and you wonder how, in what way can I make sure that I'm giving every ounce out of this kid and making sure that he is getting every ounce out of himself also. Very hard worker. Read the profile for you guys here on Cincere Johnson out of Hudson Standish. Explosive front seven defender with on and off ball versatility who likely defines a home as an edge rusher with the skill set to drop into coverage. Verified hovering around 6'3", 240 pounds with encouraging short area quickness, redirection skills, and initial burst. Possesses the length and to impose his will at the line of scrimmage and will pursue football with fervor. I don't hear that much word often. Fervor until the whistle. Worked out at the off-ball linebacker in April 2025 at the Under Armour Columbus Regional Camp and was excellent in coverage against pass catchers who were anywhere from 50 to 80 pounds lighter. Does not own a deep bag of pass rushing moves, which that's one of those things. That is one of those things that as soon as you get to Ohio State, you're hoping that Larry Johnson and with James Laurinaitis works in that. That's a big thing because he needs to have that. But has the physical tools to develop into a compact power rusher at the next level. So basically, they're saying he looks like I would accumulate him to JTT or like a Jack Sawyer, but fluid mover in the open field, who has flash sideline and sideline ability profiles as a havoc generating front seven defender at the highest levels of the college game, who can win with a blend of initial burst and power. Again, everyone, very elite athlete. One of the guys that Ohio State they couldn't miss on, and if they did, let's be honest here, I'd be on here right now having a whole different conversation. It wouldn't be a fun one. But at the same time, we have them. it's a long time until we get to that end point of when they actually sign the papers. But I do believe that Sincere Johnson is going to be one of the guys that does do so. I do believe that he's going to be a Buckeye for life. I do believe that he's going to be an impact player for us. And I think that this upcoming season, he's going to have a very good senior season over at Glenville. Now, on the other end of this, let's talk about James Laurinaitis. Now, yes, that he, Sincere might be playing more of the edge linebacker, edge role more so than a traditional linebacker. Which then you're probably be asking, well, why is James Laurinaitis heading this recruitment and not Larry Johnson? Well, he can play both, and B, I do believe that the edge position. I think a lot of people forget this. It's not technically a defensive end. They're more. It's a hybrid role. They still play linebacker to an extent, and I do think that they understand that with. I'm sorry. I do think they understand that with Cincere, because he has the capabilities to play a lot of different roles there in that front seven. I think James Laurinaitis can get the most out of him when it comes to playing linebacker slash edge. Now, also James Laurinaitis he's on a heater right now. The linebacker room, consists of Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Peyton Pierce, uh, uh, Alfred. Good grief, who else I'm missing? Stover. It's a very very elite room, and Petty John, of course. It's a very very elite room, and he's continuing and continuing to add on to it. I do think that we gotta see. Tyler Atkinson, don't know if we're gonna get him. At one point he did say that Ohio State was leading in his recruitment, but it looks a little bit different now based on some of the stories that we're hearing. But I do think that James Laurinaitis is slowly becoming one of the best recruiters, not just at Ohio State, but also in the nation, especially at his position. But you look at some of the guys, the linebacker coaches are like Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas. Those guys are elite too. But I think that James Laurinaitis is slowly heading there, and I think it has to do with the fact that not only is he one of the greatest, not just linebackers, but players to ever come through Ohio State, but go look at his career with at the time the St. Louis Rams. He knows what it takes to be a high level impact player at the highest level. So I do think that when he goes into the rooms with these kids, and at the end of the day, guys, shout out to Cardell Jones. We don't play school. These guys are coming here to play football. Now they still got to be student athletes, of course. But when you have a guy like James Laurinaitis who can walk in your room, who played the same position you did, and he can sit there and say, "Hey, I know what it takes to get you there. This is how you do it, and this is how I'm going to help you get there." I think that it works very well in a room when you're talking to some of these young men and when you're talking to their parents. Because at the end of the day, that is what matters most. And when if you're a guy like Sincere Johnson, you are coming to Ohio State because you believe that the next 3 to 4 or next 4 years, 4 or 5 years, I guess now for Sincere, you believe that your path is leading you to the NFL, and you want the best available way to get there, and you want the best coaches, the best staffs, the best programs. Those are the people that you want to join. It just so happens that Ohio State has one of those, and he's an Ohio-bred guy. Now, but yeah, back to James Laurinaitis. You look on the team right now. I would say their more recruiter on the team, of course, is Brian Hartline. After that, I would venture to say Coach Walt. After that, with the DBs or corners, after that, guys, I do believe that James Laurinaitis is the third best recruiter right now on the team at his position. I think that he's doing a wonderful job right now. On top of that, the the development that James Laurinaitis is doing with these guys is very impressive. I mean, look at where Cody Simon was the year before last year, going to this championship season, and how he played this year. Think about Sonny Styles. I mean, he's moving down from safety down to linebacker, and now is kind of widely known or suggested that coming to this season, Sonny Styles is going to be one of the best linebackers in the country and possibly in the draft. I think James is doing a great job with that room, and I think that when you look at his development, his coaching, on top of that, actually his rotations are good too. A lot of people don't talk about his rotation at linebacker, but then you also look at his recruiting and what he's doing there. I think that a payday is coming down the pipeline for James Laurinaitis, and he has a bright future ahead of him. But I mean, yeah, guys, another commitment for the Buckeyes. The class right now, it's looking awesome. It's looking awesome. If you look at USC right now, of course, it's number one because of just the sheer number. There's talent in their class, but the sheer number of commits they have. But you look at this class right now for Ohio State, it's looking at, and you look at what's coming down the pipeline, it's looking as if it's going to finish top three. It looks that way. Again, very impressed by James Laurinaitis. Cincere Johnson, glad to have you on the team. Glad not on the team yet, but glad to have you in Buckeye Nation. Glad to have you come to the program. And again, best in Ohio State and Ohio. And we look forward to watching you this upcoming season, Cincere. And then we look forward to watching you become a Buckeye. Again, everyone, if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. OHIO.